Hey guys, and welcome to another video about Goddess Victory, NIKKE. Today we will be going over the reasons why you should reconsider pulling for Anne Miracle Fairy. They have been rolling out the promotions for this character, so if you are thinking of pulling for her, especially for meta purposes, trust me, there are quite a few reasons why you should skip her. But if you're already dead set on going for her because you like her design or whatever reason, by all means go ahead. These are just my reasons as to why I'm skipping this character. As always, if you find this video useful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and let's get started. First of all, we need to take a look at her kit to see if she is even worth pulling. If you want a closer look at her kit, you can check out my pre-release analysis video, which will be linked in the description. The main thing that you should know about Miracle Fairy is that she is basically a more restricted version of Rapunzel. They essentially have the same kit, but Miracle Fairy's skill conditions are way too specific to make her a better pick, or at least be on the same level as the other supports. Rapunzel and Miracle Fairy have the same skill 1, but Miracle Fairy's skill 1 is limited to support type characters, compared to Rapunzel's skill 1 that affects 3 of her allies with the lowest HP, regardless of what class they are. 2 of them also have the same burst skill, but Miracle Fairy can only revive her allies once per battle. Her burst skill does come with a 77.22% attack increase at level 10, which is more than double compared to N102's buff and slightly better than Litter's burst skill attack buff. But with that said, Miracle Fairy's burst skill is on a 60-second cooldown, compared to N102 and Litter's burst skills that are only on 20-second cooldowns. Yes, you will be getting a bit more attack increase from Miracle Fairy, but N102 and Litter's bursts will be more frequent, making them a better source for attack boost, and at the same time, your rotations are also not compromised by a long cooldown. I really think that there are better characters from the Burst Type 1 category who can provide healing and attack boost if that's what you're looking for. So the Burst Type 2 slot is better reserved for the defenders who have protective capabilities like Senti if you're looking for more survivability. I did not mention this in my pre-release analysis, but I really think that Miracle Fairy will have the same problem as Winter Rupee, where you are basically forced to run a specific team formation to have better rotations. Winter Rupee forces you to run another Burst Type 1 character because you won't be able to reach full burst mode if you don't do so. And Miracle Fairy will more often than not force you to run another Burst Type 2 character, preferably one that only has a 20-second cooldown, because your rotations will significantly be slower without one. Although Miracle Fairy is not as restrictive as Winter Rupee, because you can still technically run a team with just Miracle Fairy for your Burst Type 2. So you will most likely be looking at a 1-2-2 team formation, which means that you will be running 1 Burst Type 1 character, 2 Burst Type 2, and 2 Burst Type 3. We need to test this firsthand to exactly know how it's going to be, but already knowing that her skills are too limiting and specific, that by itself already makes me not too optimistic about this character. Also, considering that she is a support that is a Burst Type 2, you have to ask yourself if it's really worth slotting her in instead of the Burst Type 2 characters that you have now. Especially when we are talking about characters like Senti, Dala, and Rupee, whose utility is quite unmatched by other Burst Type 2 units. While yes, you can run Miracle Fairy with another Burst Type 2 like the ones I mentioned, but is it really worth taking out a Burst Type 1 or Burst Type 3 character to be able to accommodate 2 Burst Type 2s? In my opinion, for most cases, it's a no. Another reason why you should consider skipping Miracle Fairy is because we are almost at the end of the year and there will be some special events and banners that you will most likely be more interested in compared to Miracle Fairy's banner. If you didn't know, Modernia will most likely be in the first banner releasing next year, right after the Winter Event Part 2, and there are also 2 other characters coming on the same update. I may or may not cover this in a future video depending on how I feel about them cracking down on leaks, but by the looks of it, the upcoming characters are pretty strong. So if you have been saving up for Modernia, or you are looking for a more DPS type character, then it's better to wait until they release the banners for January. So yeah, that's about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Do let me know if you are interested in seeing a pre-release analysis for the next 3 characters coming to the game early next year. And with that being said, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.